If you came across this video, God is telling me that you have been wondering and you've been asking Him and your angels and your guides, perhaps, where you stand in the eyes of God, in the eyes of heaven, in the eyes of the divine, what your place is and what your role is in this lifetime. And in this channeled video, God wants to deliver that specific message to you through me. My name is Brandon Tobias. I'm a divine channeler and professional intuitive healer, and I'm here to help you step into your greatest and highest life and love purpose in this lifetime. And come across this video tonight, it's a specific message for those of you asking God what your role is and where you stand in the eyes of God, in the eyes of heaven, in the eyes of the angels. It might be something that you've been curious about, or might be coming across your mind or your body, or your curiosity is being piqued. And maybe you have a religious background and you're watching this, or maybe you were religious and you're not religious anymore. Or maybe you're just tapping into your spiritual gifts and your spirituality. And either way, you came across this video or you've been wondering and you're like, well, how does it all work really? And what am I really here to do? And what is, where do I stand? Who am I really? And so God wants to answer. And those of you who are watching this video, he's telling me that you have a very specific role to play on this earth in this lifetime. And if you're watching this, you've probably known that you stood out from a very young age, is what he's telling me. That you've had either certain skills or talents, or people looked at you weird, or you were even outcast. A lot of you, some of you at least, were outcast from your social groups or your friend groups even, or from normal societal values and norms. And you always wondered, what is it about me that's causing this? Why am I the one being either targeted or outcast or selected in some cases, right? Some of you have been asking why you were selected for certain positions or certain leadership positions, even naturally as you were growing up. And the answer is that God has brought you down to this plane. Okay. When they say plane, they mean this earthly dimension. Okay. This earthly plane to have a specific role. And that specific role is to inspire others. Okay. Your role has always been one of natural, what he's calling natural energetic leadership, meaning the energy that is attached to you is one that is so potent and so strong that other people cannot help but notice you in any sort of way, right? It's one of, people will notice you, people will notice and feel your energy. Okay. It's something that is actually unavoidable, no matter how hard you might have tried. And some of you, believe me, I know, have tried to hide or subdue your energy. And God is saying that may have been necessary or important for you to do for a temporary period of time. And those of you who I'm talking to, you know exactly what I'm talking about, what God is talking about. But God is saying that has always been your superpower. Your superpower is how people have always noticed you, how people have always recognized you, even if you haven't recognized them, how people have always put you a little bit on a higher level or status or even pedestal compared to them, even if you didn't even ask for it. Okay. And particularly also for those of you who were targeted, God is saying, for those of you who were targeted from a very young age until this time right now, it is people trying to show you, or the world, the universe, and God himself trying to show you that people wanted to target you or bring you down because they knew something was very special about you. And whenever there's something special about someone, as even a child, or generally speaking on Earth, in the human population, they're saying, unfortunately these days, okay, they become a target because other people feel naturally threatened by them and by your presence, if you're still watching this video and you're resonating so far. And so this is something to keep note of, is that everywhere you go, you can call yourself the way shower. Okay, you can call yourself the way shower, and you're going to have two different reactions to your energy if you're watching this video. Number one, the first reaction is going to be, as we said, you're going to be targeted. People are going to try to bring you down. People are going to try to hate on you. People are going to try to light fires. They're showing me fires all around your path. But here's the thing that God's showing me, is that your path is divinely protected by God and the angels themselves. So what they're showing me is that people will try to light fires, but the fires can only be around your path. It can be surrounding your path. And so the fires are very intimidating, and the fire is very scary for those of you who are walking that path. But at the same time, God's saying you're completely safe, because that's just what's your energy is very reactionary. People are going to have very strong reactions, but your path itself is very safe. And the second reaction that people are going to have is more so the opposite. People are going to honor you. They're going to choose you. They're going to select you without you necessarily even consciously volunteering to be selected. Okay. So this has been, and this will be. I'm pausing for a second to let some of you react and kind of digest that that statement, because some of you are feeling into that. You're like, oh crap, I've either been demonized in this way or I've been selected in this way. Okay. And so I'm letting some of you process that statement from God at this moment of time. It may even make you laugh, because you're like, wow, that makes so much sense. And you might be asking yourself, and you might be asking God, well, isn't there a middle path, God? Isn't there a middle path where, I don't have to either be demonized or praised in this way? And God is saying, unfortunately, there does exist a middle path. Okay. But your path to getting to the middle path will be one of experiencing either of those extremes at certain and differing points in your lifetime. Okay. So, and what they're showing me is that, like later on in life, if this is you, if I'm talking to you, right, and I'm not talking to everyone, if I'm talking to I would say like most people who are watching even by now, that I'm talking to you, right? And you'll know exactly if I'm talking about you. You'll know right off the bat. But your path kind of looks like this, right? And that's until a later age. They're showing me things will become more stable. Like you'll be able to walk in the fire, but also in the praise at the same time, more easily, we should say. It's never easy, but more easily. But that's essentially what your path is. Like you watching your path is to actually balance both of those different experiences, walking through the fire and flames, and then walking in the praise, in the limelight. And it's like, well, how do you do that, right? How do you balance both? How do you bear both, right? How do you endure both and go throughout that experience? It's very wild and it's very chaotic. We understand. Guides and angels are saying, God is saying, we understand. Okay. But you have to know that it's the hard path that you chose in this lifetime, but that's the one you chose. Okay. That's the one you chose. There's no other way to do it. And there's no right way to walk that path besides just walking it. And what he means by that is that you are going to cause these reactions. The most important part of this channeled message, I feel, for those of you watching, is to know that you are going to cause those reactions just by acting in this world in your authentic way. Okay, from your heart, from your soul, with the depths of who you are going to cause these reactions. You're going to cause one or both paths to activate for you. Okay. And again, they said certain times this path over here, the one through the fire, and certain times the one in the praise, sometimes a little bit of both. Okay. But later on, what happens is it naturally balances out to where you're kind of walking this middle path where you're in the middle of both of those, and you're okay with it. Because they're saying you've been turned into a fire walker. Okay. I don't know how many of you have been to a Tony Robbins event. You've had to walk over the coals. Okay. I'm sure many of you watching this have, because I just have a feeling about that. But if you have, or whether you have or haven't, doesn't matter. You are a fire walker. You're learning to be a fire walker in this lifetime. And so what a fire walker is someone who is okay with walking forward despite creating fire around them. Because it's not like you are actually creating the fire. It's not like you're responsible for the fire from acting as yourself. Okay. It's the reactions of those around you who are in a reactionary way creating that fire because of your energy because of your influence. And you might say, well, doesn't that make me, or doesn't that make the person doing that responsible for that? And God is saying, no, no, it does not. Not at all, actually. It makes the people creating the fire because of your actions responsible for creating the fire. And God will and does hold them accountable, believe me. Okay, in the ways that the universe works, in the ways of the ways that karma and karmic destiny works. Okay, and you have to know that is part of your destiny. You watching, you are actually, I hate to say it, you are actually a creator of karma. Okay, not because that's your intention, not because that is like what you're like, yeah, let's go send some people to karmic hell on earth, right? Like like that's not what you are. Okay, and yet that may be what is, has, or will happen in your lifetime, just simply because of you existing and your actions and the reactions that people have creating their fires, okay, the fires around you, that you're you feel, or you might feel, or it might seem like you're responsible for, but in reality it's like you are causing them to react in a way that causes their own karma and their own fire. Does that make sense? Okay, so that doesn't make you responsible, particularly if you're not obviously like provoking it, right? But if you're just acting as you are and being who you are, as strongly and as authentically as you can, and that's what other people choose to do with their reaction and their energy, you are inciting the karmic fire inside of them that was destined to be had no matter what you did. Because if you didn't do it, someone else or something else would do it. But it does so happen that God is using you watching as a karmic fire starter. That is part of who you are. And this message is about embracing that. And you might see, it might seem, you might say that is unfortunate. I don't really want to be that, right? I never really wanted to be that, or I don't feel like I choose that. I just saw 1212 on the timer, by the way. Okay. 1212 is a very, this is like your karmic destiny, right? It's about, for me, it's about karmic destiny. It's about us being in chapters of our lives where we're either finishing out or causing or creating or learning about the karma that we are here to do, right? And when I say karma, I mean like the work that we're here to do to help us reach our ultimate goal and destiny in this lifetime. Okay, that's what I mean by the word karma. For those of you who are like specific on the definition, that's what I mean specifically about the definition. But um, the point is whether or not you necessarily wanted that or chose that or knew that you were that, that's what you are. Okay. And God is saying, now is the time to embrace rather than dissipate, rather than run away from, rather than avoid, or rather than look away from, to embrace that side of you, the side of you that creates, unfortunately, reactionary karmic responses from your very actions and your very existence and your very path and movement forward, because it's a part of what you're meant to experience. It's a part of what you will cause. It's also a part of you helping the world be a better place. Why? You might say, why does that help the world be a better place? Because when you react, when you incite the karmic potential inside of people, or you cause people to light their own fires and cause a little bit of chaos in the world, okay, and then they receive the karmic consequences of their actions, eventually, although it may be painful for a little while, those people learn, those other individuals learn their lesson. And eventually, the whole goal, the whole implication of karma itself is for people to say, I have had enough of my own suffering. I've had enough of the choices I make that put me into a version of karmic hell on earth, right? That's the purpose of karma. That's the purpose of you and other people, generally speaking, who exist that cause these reactions inside of other people on their path. That's the purpose, is God is using you, us, as the way showers, also as the karmic insiders. Okay, I wonder how many words they're gonna come up with. The karmic insiders, like the karmic incendiary, I'm not gonna even try. You know what I mean. Okay. And so your path again is going to bounce between that, and it's going to bounce between being praised for it. Now, here's the inherent issue and the hardest part about this whole path that those who I'm talking to will experience. And here's I feel when we release this, me and God release this, it's going to unlock something very big for you. So this is important. Those of you who have walked this path, if I am talking to you and this video is meant for you, when you've experienced the reactionary incendiary type of path where you've caused others to incite their own karma and create all this fire around your path and chaos and then consequences for themselves subsequently because the karma they're creating in the world and the way that God's universe works. And then you go from that and you go to being praised, or people wanting to select you, people wanting you to represent them, people wanting to follow you, because you've just come from a path where you may have felt responsible for creating all that chaos, or having people experience these karmic consequences because of your existence or your path. You may have felt unworthy. You may have felt bad. You may have felt like, who the heck am I to be praised as a leader, to be praised as a role model for other people to follow or to listen to or to watch or to see or to experience, when I have just come from this other path of creating hell all the way around me for other people. How can I be the leader that you want me to be, God? How can other people see me in this way when I have just come from this other side of my path where it's been nothing but me causing, quote unquote, the chaos and the fires and the karma for all of those around me that I've walked beside? And this might be a very serious, very deep question within your soul of existence, to your soul, if you're watching this, is because you have in some ways labeled yourself as responsible for causing others to create their own karmic consequences because of your existence. You might have said, well, that makes me inherently unworthy to be a leader, and it doesn't. In fact, it makes you more of one. Makes you even more qualified and an even better representative of what it means to be a leader in this lifetime, what it means to represent the people, what it means to be a way shower, what it means to lead the way, and particularly what it means to lead others down a certain path that you feel or want to represent in this world, in this lifetime. So I want to call on you, and I want to call on God wants to call on you, and we want to call on everyone watching that if this has been your story, if this has been your path, if this has been you who have shown people the way, but then in your way showing, you've created fire and created chaos and caused people to go and create their own karmic consequences, then you felt unworthy to lead people. This is why you are qualified to even be a leader. Because you have been brave enough and you've been willing enough to go down a path that no one would ever want to really voluntarily or consciously choose to go down, which is being the one that sets other people on fire, essentially, because they need it and because God wants to show them a certain lesson through you. And you have been brave enough and willing enough to take that path and in a way, sacrifice some of the pleasure or happiness or peace, right, that you might ordinarily have if you didn't choose that specific path, and you've decided to do it anyways. And you've continued to do it anyways. And you've persisted all the way through all of that and all of this which you've experienced, which you know exactly what I'm talking about, until this day where you can choose to, and still, if you want to, now step into your ability to be the leader that you were naturally born to be, and that God is saying you are very, very well qualified for, that you were chosen to be. You may just not have realized why you were qualified or why you were chosen or how you were chosen. And the truth is, you've already been doing it. You've already been doing it. It's not even like you need to do anything extra right now, necessarily, right? You've already been doing it. If I've been speaking to you and I've been speaking to your heart, speaking to your soul, and you're like, yeah, that's been me. You've already been being the way shower. You've already been being the leader, even if you've tried actively not to be the way shower and to not be the leader. Okay? That's the truth. But before, you might not have realized that that's A, what qualifies you to be a leader in God's world and God's universe, and B, that those things were actually a good thing, that those things were to be prized and respected and shared gratitude for. And if no one's done it yet in this world, I want to take a second, and God and his angels want to take a second and send you the gratitude you deserve for being the way shower that God sent you to this earth to be and to become more of in this lifetime. Not in the future lifetime and not in the past lifetime, but in this particular lifetime. We are speaking to you, earth angels and earth angel hybrids who have chosen this difficult path. And I do want to share a little insight about this for those of you watching, because your energy will have known, right? If this video was for you, and if it wasn't, you would have clicked off a while ago. But part of the reason that if you resonated with this video, not saying all of you did, but if you did, part of the reason for that is that your energy is different than, and we're going to get a little out there here, so forgive me, but I'm just going to channel for all of you, right? It's a little different than just human DNA. Now, I can't say all of you watching are one singular type of different energy. It's very different. Some of you have like ascended master energy within you. Some of you have like angel hybrid energy, right? Angels mixed with human DNA. Some of you have angelic DNA and energy inside of you. Some of you are just very advanced souls. So there's and some of you, by the way, I meant to say, were like practicing spiritual and ascended masters in past lifetimes who are just waking up to those gifts again through their soul DNA, right? All of those are possibilities. That's why we can't say any type of one. But it's like you're watching, I'm seeing a bunch of different types of energetic fields watching this, right? And that's for you to identify. That's for you to ask God. All you got to do is ask God about that, and He will send it. If he hasn't sent that to you already, something to ask Him about. But it's the reason you were all drawn to this video is because if I'm talking to you, your energy will have stood out. Okay, and you are again particularly summoned to this earth in this lifetime, in this incarnation, to stand out. You're drawn here in an age where you will stand out. Whereas in other ages, right? Other ages like in the future or in the past, okay, we're getting crazy again, I know, but in the future or past, your energy may not have stood out as much because things were more advanced or things where people were not as perceptive, etc. There's different ranges here. But in this age, it's the perfect balance of people are perceptive enough, but the earth is not yet full or advanced enough of these advanced types of souls or angelic beings walking on this earth so that it's like a normal thing. You know what I mean? I know we've gotten a little weird tonight, but that's the truth. I mean, that's what God has shown me. God has shown me that on this earth there walks a lot of earth angel hybrids, ascended masters, and very advanced souls. I mean, all different types of beings, okay, who incarnated here as a human and kind of came in and we're just like, okay, we're doing this as a human being and then let's figure it out, and it's like, well, human life is kind of weird. And a lot of you, it's like you've experienced human existence for like 10, 20, 30 plus years, and human life never felt right for you, right? It never felt like real. It never felt like more things out here were more real than what was actually reality. And so anyways, if this is you, this is who I'm talking to. So where do we go from here? Well, God wants to say, first, he wants to send you gratitude. If no one has done it already, and if you're walking this path, it's a hard path to receive a lot of gratitude from souls, right? For a while on your path. But God and the angels want to send you gratitude for being the way shower that you are already. Not will be, not could be, but you are already. That's what they're showing me. You're already doing this. Whether you realize you were doing it or not, conscious or unconscious of it, you've been doing it. And so God is saying that is a service. And because of that service, that is what enables you. That is what qualifies you. That is why I will continue to put you into positions where you will be seen. Okay, to continue to put you in positions where you can have an opportunity to show people the way, and where other people will also recognize your gifts, your strengths, your talents, and your energy. Okay, because your energy is very unique, as we said, and as time moves forward, and just watch. Okay, remember this video. But as time moves forward, people will become more and more aware of those souls here on earth who have special energy, who have unique or different energy that is uniquely powerful, disruptive, perceptive. Okay. It's already kind of started. We've seen it, and this, I'm not really not on TikTok that much these days. But, I've heard people talk about, or like Gen Z or the newer generation to say like people, that guy or gal's got an aura. You see that guy's aura, so people are already, it's kind of already sneaking into the mainstream. I don't know if you all have noticed. But as time moves forward, this is going to become more and more obvious. Okay, people are becoming more perceptive of this. You can imagine that there's a regular base human population of what we can say is like newer souls, right? Newer souls on Earth, newer souls. We're all pretty old souls, but newer souls on Earth who are still learning, who are going through, who are solving karma, etc. And then there are the people I'm talking to, the way showers, who are having this experience. Okay. And again, God puts you on this earth specifically to show the way. Okay. To be representatives of Him, His kingdom, heaven, the universe. Okay. How to ascend, right? How to awaken your spiritual gifts and powers. And also to be a human so you can relate to humans. I sound so weird right now. I know. Forgive me. But yes, he did do this, and so that you can wake as many people as possible up with your representation. Okay, so yeah, to be very specific, that is your role. That is why you're here. That's what you can call yourself, the way shower. That's why your energy is the way it is. That's why you've been treated the way you've been treated. And eventually, it will allow for, and God will put the way showers in places of opportunity to show other people the way. Okay, other people will allow you to lead them to become a better version of themselves, or to just become more aware of how things on Earth or how things in the universe work. Right, the reality of them. Okay, and so God wants to say, know that that's where your life is leading to. That's where I want to lead your life if you will let me. If you are willing to embrace this part of you, if you're willing to accept this part of you, this is where this is where I want to take you. Okay? I want to make you an example even more so than you already are, and make you a role model for the rest of the souls here on earth to become more aware, to ascend, to understand reality better, okay, in a certain way that you're here to show them. And I want to use you as that particular instrument, because God is saying, and you might say, well, why can't God just do that Himself? And God will say, the best teacher is other human beings. Okay. The best teacher that God has at His disposal, and God being the consciousness of the universe itself, of source itself, okay, the substance that connects all of us together. God is the consciousness, the orchestrator of everything in the world, of the universe that exists, right? Of reality that exists. And God is saying, there's no better teacher than a fellow human being. Like, that is how God works. God works through us to show other people what he wants us to show them. Okay? It's like if you have someone who is still learning, a newer soul or a newer student, we can say, it's very difficult, God is saying, God is showing me, for God himself to just be able to instantly enlighten someone, right? Right? So there's a there's a learning process and there's an opening process that God needs other human beings to help kind of pre-open other humans, other souls, so that God can have continuously more access to that soul. Does that make sense? So that's why. That's why there's way showers. That's why there's other human people like you and me watching this who are meant to show this, to be role models, to lead in this way. But you have to be okay with the fact that there will be more of, right? And God is saying to embrace this because it is what qualifies you to be a leader, to be of service to the people. This is why you are permitted to do this, to lead other people, is because you are also performing a service of walking the path of creating that fire. So God is saying, embrace that, right? If you're willing to embrace the fact that, yes, in my action, I may cause other people to create fires for themselves, and I will have to walk this path of fire, and they will probably create karma in my wake because of my actions and my energy, but it is always for the highest good. And so I must continue to act despite that. And I must continue to act despite how much it may scare or hurt me, right, emotionally, because I feel bad for that, what I'm doing. But God is saying, please, that is both for the highest good as well as a necessary reaction, okay, of your action here on earth, okay? And so I want to say this all because many of you, as a result of everything that we've just channeled and we've said, is as a result of that incendiary reaction, I think I got it, incendiary reaction that you may have caused throughout your existence, part of you may have just wanted to exist as opposed to take action in the world, because subconsciously you might have realized, oh, when I take action, it causes this type of reaction. I feel bad, or I felt bad, or I think that's bad for me to cause this type of reaction in other people. And so, therefore, I choose not to take action. Okay. And if this is you, you're going to know right now, immediately. You're going to raise your hand. You're going to say, yeah, that was me. But God is saying, now is the time to clear that path, because I'm giving you specific clarity that no, that is not a bad thing. That is how I designed you. That is how I designed the world to work. And that is how I designed karma in general to work. Okay. In this particular lifetime. So do not be ashamed of it. Do not be scared of it. Be unafraid to lead the way and show others the way as well in this world. Okay, God is saying, I will be watching, I will be cheering you on, I will be supporting you. If you need help or have questions about that, you just seek me, and I will give you the answers through you, through your soul, through your body, through your heart. Okay, I will show you the way, I will give you the messages, or I will cause Brandon to do a reading. Or open up his personal readings and sessions again, which might be around the corner. We'll see. Okay, but either way, we've got you covered. Okay, in this lifetime and beyond. And we want to say to you watching that we have reserved a very special spot, again, for you in this world and in your afterlife, right? Like in your afterlife and who you are and who you're becoming. Like, this is a huge task. This is a huge responsibility that it might feel heavy if you're watching this, right? It might feel like, oh, this is a big weight that I'm carrying in this lifetime because I have this big task I'm here to do, but it causes all this fire and this consequences, and then I have to lead people, and it's like, wow, it's like, at some point it might feel a little bit more of a burden than an honor, and that's because it can be, right? This responsibility can feel like a burden, okay? But because of that work and because of that burden that you are here to take on, okay, you can run away from it, but you really are here to take that on. I mean, you're going to be very, very rewarded and very, very happy in this lifetime, okay? Particularly in the areas of love, of health, and of course of wealth and abundance. And God is assuring me that in those three areas, you are going to be very, very well taken care of. That is actually three areas in this lifetime you're meant to thrive in this both in this lifetime and also after this lifetime as well. Okay, so it's a big uh, soul accomplishment, karmic reward that you're earning for yourself. Okay, basically is how it works for the lifetimes to come. It's like you have this kind of honor and prestige within your soul about how you've served the world and God and the universe. And again, that's not like a pride or ego thing, but it's something your soul will remember. Okay, it's something God and the angels and everyone is very thankful for as well. It's a service that you're performing, and it's a service you signed up for so that you could give back. Right? I see a lot of you in the spiritual world, and you were asking yourself after a lot of lifetimes, like, well, I've gained all this knowledge, I've gained all this wisdom, I've gained all these skills and these spiritual abilities, and it's like, well, how do I actually give back? How do I actually give back to people and the world with everything that I've gained, with everything that God and the universe has given to me? And God is saying, well, I have an opportunity for you. Limited spots available. Sign up today. And you did. And so God was the ultimate salesman in getting you to come down to earth and say, you're going to take on this responsibility. And you may not have realized just how big of responsibility it was and is, but you sure do now. Okay. Um, okay, that's all God has for today. um, yeah, and yeah, that's all God has. But God, and they just want to say like, thank you, and like they're very thankful and very appreciative for you being here. They know it's not easy. Okay, in all seriousness, and but they're also excited for you to, as you continue this path, to have these rich experiences and also to experience all the rewards that await you, because there's a lot more to come. Okay, for you in this lifetime, and they can't wait to continue to show you the way, and so that you can show the way to others as well. Okay. We love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. God, is there going to be an extended tonight? No extended for tonight. Okay. Not quite yet. There might be one in the future. This is a standalone video. So I hope it was helpful. Thanks so much for watching. If you want more content channeled straight from, to the best of my ability, the angels and guides and God, and sourced directly, be sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and feel free to leave your experience in the comments below. I love you all. Thanks so much for your support and for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.